How's it going, guys? It's your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here for and this is something that I haven't done in a while, a One Piece manga chapter review. Manga chapter 974. The reason why I'm doing this is because something important goes on in this chapter, and to those who so happen to watch My Hero, and so happen to watch and read One Piece, in the Wano arc, there's apparently a traitor in the midst of the 9 scabbards, and just as a point of reference for this chapter, the traitor actually gets revealed. But before we get into that, let's start with the cover page, which, I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to Beiji's Oh My Family, when it comes to this cover page, it's not really that interesting to me, as well as a lot of people. But the fact that I am seeing Chiffon and how Goldie saves her, and just what goes through my head is like, so this know-nothing person actually does something on like Beiji's For You, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice. It's kind like he apparently, like in the previous cover page, he blew up like an explosion. Apparently during that he rescued Chiffon. So at the very least, Goldie has some skills. He is a skillful boy, which makes sense since he has like a gun for an arm. So yeah, it's not really not a whole lot, but still like a lot of nice going on there. But getting right into the meat and the potatoes of this chapter, we actually just get Denjiro and Hiyori. Oh, sorry. Not Denjiro and Hiyori. Komurasaki and Kiyoshiro. They're basically talking to each other, and we just get more explanation for like how they've been conspiring against Orochi. Basically, it's like, yeah, Orochi really likes you now. So just make sure you have a blood pack in you at all times, because once you're dead, it's really gonna break up. So like they basically go into the explanation of like what happened later on, because this is still a flashback to what had happened, and like how Hiyori Komurasaki died, and like where all that blood came from, which was a blood pack, which in all honesty is something that we all should have expected. It seems very logical, even in like this world where like technology isn't like the best, but you still have submarines and torpedoes and miniguns. Like it makes sense. Like you wouldn't think that they have blood pack, but they do, so that's really nice. So like we see that, and then they start talking about, oh yeah, in 20 years we're gonna wait. So it shows that Denjiro is really into and still believes in the 20-year prophecy. So among the 9 red scholars, and if there's like a little marking here, marking off the list of who are the potential traitors, Denjiro is obviously not a traitor, so that limits it to like several other people that could potentially still be it, besides Momonosuke. So yeah, there's that. But after that, what I find funny about the chapter is like we're still in the flashback, but we're just getting steadily more and more and more to the present. Like right now, the next page is just Kaido and Orochi talking basically about the traitor, and how like what, and Orochi says freaking out. It's like, wait 1 second, Toki's power is real? Wait 1 second, how could that occur? Wait, are there even these type of powers in the world? Can devil fruits actually do that? Oh my gosh. And Orochi's like just talking about this, and he also says, oh yeah, by the way, apparently like people are going to invade our island within the next few weeks, so we should probably look out for that. And Kaido's just drinking like glug. Oh, what are you talking about? The traitor? Are you sure this guy can be trusted? And like, gosh, like how, and like glug. Just like basically Kaido is questioning like Orochi, is like, can you really trust this spy? And Orochi basically is like, yeah, you can trust him, all right? You can trust him, all right? When it comes, and then we actually get the backstory of the traitor, and we get this backstory of apparently the traitor had family who was in the theater, and apparently they were killed on stage, and from the kids' eyes, apparently, and apparently they were a part of a particular family that was involved with a particular incident of killing the daimyos. So yes, they were a part of the Kurozumi family, and as far as we know, all the Kurozumi family were killed except Orochi, the old woman, the old man, and apparently this child at the time is also a Kurozumi, and apparently he goes to see Orochi, or Orochi sought him out, and was basically like, yes, I remember you are a part of the Kurozumi clan. Don't worry, I killed the person that killed our parents, and that's just the beginning of our revenge. And here is a devil fruit that you can use. And yeah, just being conniving. But this kind of also shows that the Traitor has a devil fruit. So, that pretty much eliminates... who does that eliminate? Literally Minx, Ino, and Neku, because obviously during this time... Because it's shown like it's during the time in which they are rebuilt. It's probably during the time before... Odin came back and Neko and Inu were on the ship, or when they were brought back. It seems to show that it's something that has happened after the fact, as well as when it comes to Ino and Neko, due to the fact that they have sailed the seas, it's very unlikely that they do have devil fruits, being minks. As far as we know, we've only seen one mink with devil fruits, and being on Zo, it's very unlikely that they would just have devil fruits there or have the devil fruit power. And especially in doing so, where if it's either one of them, the other would have known immediately, because they were fighting. It's very obvious that it's neither one of them. But then that also ties into, specifically, Kawamatsu is also not this person, because he said that he was with his family. We got his backstory, but also the fact that he's still able to swim. And if he had a devil fruit, he's unable to do that. So... And I also like to say that most likely also rules out Ashura Doji, because as far as during this time, if the person was found, Ashura Doji was most likely the ruler of this the Hakamai region, or the lawless region. He was the lead of that, so it's very unlikely that he is the user of this devil fruit. Also, because it was very known that they just left them to their own, and also how. So yeah, and apparently this kid was very young when this happened, because we also see that Orochi is still very young as well. So that eliminates a lot of them as far as we know. Also, Denjiro, as I said, or Koshiro as well. Kiyoshiro is not that as well. So that only leaves Kinemon, Kyuku, and Kanjuro. The three people who are most likely to be this. And we also get more characterization of what this Traitor's actual type of personality is, because apparently he's acting this entire time, or she's acting this entire time, involving Kiku could potentially be it. And even though Orochi does say him, and we do know Kiku is a male, you may think that may eliminate her as well, because she identifies as female. Like I said, this person is a very good actor, and if it is Kiku, then, which I do know who it is, but still, if it was Kiku, or if it is Kiku, it's an act, so she's like, oh yes, I am a male, but I identify as female. That could just be a lie, so that's the reason why I bring that up. But he also talks about another thing, is how this specific person wants to die. He wants to, find a place to die, which is very interesting when it comes to characterizations of characters. And it's very similar, because Kaido is also someone who wants to die, but we don't know the context. Well, when it comes to the Traitor, we kind of know the context, and it's oh, my family is dead and I don't want to live in this world anymore. So yeah, there's that. And because of that, he says that this person's loyalty is so strong that it's terrifying. And then immediately after that, we just get basically a summation of everything that has happened. They talk about basically the deaths that happened 20 years ago, and their fallout. How the Kozuki Clan is basically annihilated besides Momo, and how they've been vilified, how they've been seen as evil, and how the samurais basically traveled around the world to gather up people. Dressrosa, Punk Hazard, Zo, how they gathered up these allies to try to take down Orochi and Kaido during the Fire Festival. And then we cut back to the present, where it's and we have this plan, and we cut back to the present, and we cut back to the wreckage of everything. Everything is destroyed. The plan is ruined, and basically, Kinemon, I'm fairly certain it's Kinemon. Kinemon is like, or someone is telling people. Oh yeah, it's Kinemon and all of them. Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Kiku, Kawamatsu, Inuarashi, Ashura. How they're on a little boat and they're sailing away, and Momonosuke is like on the land. It's like, don't go, it's suicide, and they just like don't care. And from there, they have like an idea of like what they're gonna do is that they try to twist this like on its head. It's like, yes, we have a small party, but because we have a small party, it makes it easier to sneak up against Kaido and kill him, chop off his head. And if we don't succeed, basically this is what Kinemon's saying, is like, we don't see, then like at least we're gonna leave someone there to like that can carry the weight. As Momonosuke is screaming and being held back, we also get Kiku crying as well. Could that be the act? I don't know. But we also get Kinemon basically confirming like the idea of like, it's very likely that someone here is a traitor and was leaking information. But you know what? Even if that's true, I don't want to know. And like Kiku's like, how? Why? You're not like this, Kinemon. Like she just goes in on Kinemon during this time because he's like basically pretty much like given up. And like Kiko's like, you're not the type of person to do this. You're not the type of person that you would give up. That's the summation of it. And Kanjuro rings in again, and it's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. We got to make things clear though. And then immediate change to Kanjuro saying, it's me. I'm the snitch. I'm the traitor. And when I first read this chapter, I lost it. Because me personally, and I think it was fairly obvious that Kanjuro was the traitor, because as far as we know, we really didn't get any backstory from him. Like, we literally got kind of like backstory for everyone pretty much. Like a little bit with not as much as with Raizo, but we know Raizo played an important role in that, the fact that the Minks would die for Raizo. So I feel as if like, if Raizo was so important and he was a part of Kaido, then they wouldn't have gone after him. Kinemon, we've shown to be extremely loyal in the same vein as Danjiro, because they were like the first apostles, as well as like Kiku as well. Like we saw how she and her brother were basically like raised and were orphans, and how she was taken in by Odin. And then we also get, as well as like Neko, Inu, as well as Koamatsu, how they were taken in due to racism. But weirdly enough, we didn't get anything with Kanjuro. Like, and that was the fun part. And like 2 points that I like to bring up that kind of made me suspicious. Even like in the Dressrosa arc, where we see that Kanjuro and Kinemon sees that Kanjuro is alive, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're like healthy, you're alive. I thought something bad had happened to him. And it's like, oh yeah, it's fine. I've been hiding here the entire time, just eating cabbage, num 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 num. And I kind of thought that was weird, because I'm like, wait a minute, like, this is Dressrosa. Like, and we saw previously, like, they literally, like, extract everyone here and turn everyone to toys that loses in the stadium. And, like, because you're here, it means that you're lost. And I just look around, and it's like, there's really nowhere for you to hide in here. But I just played it off as like, well, maybe something happened. Maybe you did something with this devil fruit, or yada, yada, yada. That was, like, my first flag, but I didn't realize it. But my second flag literally came in the previous chapter, where all of those scabbards are running away, where Inu and Neku get captured. Everyone turns around and makes a comment, looking at them with concern for them. Like, oh no, something's gonna happen. Literally, everyone does it except Kanjuro. And this is the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I thought that was weird. And when I saw that he was revealed to be the traitor in this chapter, that makes sense, because yes, and he also explains a little bit more like how he like had some feelings for them, how he cared for them, and like when he was younger, but he was just looking for a place to die, and that he was a traitor this entire time. Like he had some connections with them, but he also explains like how he has no emotion, like he didn't feel any happiness, no joy with them. And like also with this reveal, everyone is just like awestruck by this. They're just like so like, no, that can't be. Just so like filled with despair at this moment. And it's just a very impactful scene. And like due to like what I thought, literally the last chapter, I'm like, it's probably going to be Kanjuro, because that makes the most sense. We also get that as I said, the traitor is a part of the Kurozumi clan, and Kanjuro reveals his name as Kanjuro Kurozumi. And immediately after that, we start getting, like I said, a little bit more explanation how he basically was spilling all of the information to them, and like how he talked about, yeah, and when oh gosh, I forgot his name. When like he died. Next up, we have Kanjuro basically talking about Yasui and how his death was worthless because even though yes they changed the plan, he's changed it, and he also starts berating them about like how you didn't suspect me, in which yeah we should have suspected you, Kanjuro, you piece of garbage. But as he says this, the Beast Pirate ships just come out of nowhere. I think, yeah, Beast Pirate ships come out of nowhere, and they also start berating them by saying, oh yeah, the information was right. People are on this little diggy trying to head to Onigashima. Oh man, that's ridiculous. But all of a sudden, like, you get to like the next like panel, and you just see Kinemon cut off Kanjuro's head, and he's just like, Kanjuro! And like everyone just looks in horror, and it's like he basically is like, and these people are here and fight by your side, and it's just angry, and just like, how could you do this? And all of a sudden you just see Kanjuro on the like land with Momonosuke, and he's like, wait, how did Kanjuro get there? Lord Momonosuke! And then we see that the Kanjuro on the ship was a painting, and Ino was like, oh, so we thought you couldn't draw, but apparently you can. You tricked us even more. And it's like, oh wow, that's just like builds upon like the lies upon the lies upon the lies. And he's like, ha ha ha, all this is going on. Ha ha, there's nothing that you can do about it. You're all gonna die. And then you just like you hear a conversation while reading the manga. And I know that doesn't make sense, but like if you're really a huge fan of One Piece, as I am, when I was reading this, like again, I realized, that how it sounds like Nami is talking. And it's like, how can you sleep at a time like this? And after that, you just have Luffy, who's like, oh wait, the boat is repaired? Oh man, I'm the strongest when I've eaten, when I've slept. Like, all right, let's go. And all of a sudden, you see one of the Beast Pirate ships blow up. Explosion on the side. And you see like oh, well, I just said it. I said Luffy's talking, but yeah, we see a familiar face or body type, Scar. It's obviously Luffy. We see Luffy apologizing for being late. Then after that, we have Korematsu looking at the water, and it's like, something's coming out of the water. And then you just see this submarine come out with another familiar face with a specific tattoo. I don't know who that could possibly be with that tattoo and that little like goatee looking beard right there. No. But then immediately afterwards, we see another one of the ships blow up from the other side, and then we also see another familiar face. All right, y'all all know what's going on. I'm pretty sure it's in the title of this video, but we see some supernovas. Luffy, Kid, and Law appear out of nowhere with their like ships and their vessels, and like and especially Kanjuro's just like, I wasn't expecting this. This was not in the information that I was provided. And we have Luffy basically being mad at the fact, it's like, yo, you're attacking samurais on the sea? You know, when you're on the sea, you deal with pirates. And the chapter ends right there with a like just looking at Kid, Luffy, and Law looking like bad mother loving asses right there as the chapter ends. So when it comes to this chapter of One Piece, I thought it was freaking great, only on the premise that for the most part, I kind of predicted who the traitor was, and like there wasn't a whole lot of evidence for it, but it's very likely based off like the development of the characters that have built up. Like I said, Inu, Neku, like had some build up in their backstory because we've known them for a while. Gosh, Kawamatsu with his flashback, as well as like how he lost, not Kiku, but how he lost, Komurasaki. Yes, he lost Komurasaki before she was Komurasaki, and eventually befitted the fox and was gathering up weapons. We got that backstory. We got the backstory with Ashura Doji, with like Odin, and then we got with Odin, Kinemon, Danjiro, how they met Odin, how Kiku and her brother, how they met Odin as well, and like how like all of these people met Odin, And like with Raizo, we got the backstory of Raizo to an extent, but it was also like how Raizo was like protected by the minks. We got all of this information about all of these characters except Kanjuro, which was a little weird, but it makes sense if he is the traitor. He wouldn't, and even with the backstory that we get now, kind of explains him as a traitor, and especially since like he's an artisan and a thief. It makes sense that he would be able to put on this like facade, because even like when like his allies were dying, he was crying about it, but those tears lacked any form of emotion. And I think like that's pretty much like everything that happens in the chapter, as well as like first chapter just giving like a little bits of confirmation about like how knowledge was gained by Kaido, as well as by Orochi, and like Orochi elaborating on the traitor's backstory. Then we also have just the information about how Komurasaki, aka Hori, and Dijiro, aka Kiyoshiro, how like their plan like kind of came together trying to like trick Orochi. The reveal of Kanjuro being the traitor, and basically his motives of like, I just want to die. I don't have emotions. Like, I cared about y'all, but I really didn't. So I've been leaking information. So, you know, and then like, oh, hey, look, the Beast Pirates and all that. And just to reveal that at the very least, like Luffy's crew, Law's crew, and Kid's crew are there to like head to Onigashima. So yeah, really good chapter, really enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video as well. I'm gonna have my Hero video up this Sunday because the translations went out, and the translations really weren't that great, especially for like my likings. So like I said, hopefully you like this video. Hopefully I can make a little bit more One Piece content if that's something that you're interested in. I'm definitely making more My Hero, and as I said, I'm gonna try to make a video, more videos about My Hero, because that may be a focus of this channel now. But with all the ramblings out of the way, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Goodbye. Ooh, whoa. That's just weird. Bye, y'all.